Good morning, everyone. Myself, Ashu Sharma. I welcome you all in series of that database connections and MySQL using Python. So today we will see operations, update and join. So let's start with next slide. Some of these important points. The first is the update set statement is used to update any column inside the table. So for updation with respect to a given column inside the table, we can use update set. The delete from statement is used to delete a specific record from the table. Here we must impose a condition using where clause. Otherwise, all the records from the table will be removed. So definitely we require a given condition is to satisfy to delete a record from the table. So it is very important that we use where clause over there. We can combine the columns from two or more tables by using some common column among them by using the join statement. So whenever we want to combine the columns from two or more tables, we have to use same that name column or common column among them by using the join that statement. So it may be a left join, it may be a right join. You have to perform, but in two or more tables, that column name should be common. Now move to the next point. Right join shows all the columns of the right hand side the table, as we have two tables in the database, test as I created earlier, so such that departments and employees. So we have already employee table as we have seen in previous videos, how to insert values into table and how to just fetch results from that. Now we have to create departments table as well in the same data test. And when we will create these two tables, then we perform that update operation and join operation over there. Join operation is generally deals with two or more tables. So we require another table as well. It is very, very important that departments and employee table, we don't have any employee in the table who is not working for any department. So department ID will be null. So suppose we insert an employee, doesn't have that record in the department. So definitely that department ID will be null. The left join covers all the data from the left hand side of table. It has just opposite effects that we generally have in right join. So these are certain operations that we will perform and see the results, how it works. So I'm just sharing Jupyter Notebook, and then one by one we will just learn the things. Okay, come to this. So as we have only one table in our database, let's create one more table, departments, with two columns, department ID and department name. So already in previous videos, I have explained how to create table and how to insert values. Same sort of approach we are going to implement here. Very first, we import MySQL.connector module, then create the connection object as always, my connection, that MySQL.connector.connect, pass these four parameters: host, username, password, and database. Database is named as test as I have created. Then creating the cursor object, here is myConnection.cursor. Finally, we have try creating a table with name in that have four columns that name. So here we have, because of we are creating departments, so create table departments, department underscore ID and of int 20, primary key not null, and department name varchar not null, except my connection dot rollback. So rollback is always there once a kind of error that occurs. So finally my connection dot close. Once we open connection, and then we have to close the connection. So this is the way that departments table will be created. Now in the next, if we just use to say that the departments table has created, now we have to insert certain values over there. So very first is to import MySQL.connector. Then there is create the connection object. So pass 4 parameters again. That myConnection.cursor. Now this is the query. Insert into departments. There are two fields, department ID and department name values, followed by this pair of parentheses. Inside this, we have format specifier, %s, %s. The row values are provided in the form of tuples. So inside a list, this is the list that shown by this rectangular bracket. Inside it, there are tuples. So actually, these are number of rows. So two rows will be inserted, 201, CSE, 202, IT. So 201 is belonging to department ID and CSE belonging to department name. And then we have same sort of stuff that try, invoke that execute many, so SQL value that we pass through this. Then myConnection.commit to commit the transaction. Finally, we print records inserted. There should be two records are going to be inserted. And finally, myConnection.rollback and myConnection.close. So once we run this segment, then two records will be inserted. Now come to the next segment. This segment is basically to perform that join sort of stuff. So till now we have created a departments table, and there are two fields, department ID and department name. Then we insert into departments, and that values that we have, simply department ID and department name that we have inserted, two rows. And now we have departments and employee table inside test database. Now we perform join. So once we join, so definitely we have department ID and department name from departments are going to be joined with the employee. So we have given here employee ID, employee name, employee salary. From department, we have department ID and department name. So this we have to just select, and finally we will get that result. So here we have join. Join operation is working. This one. Join operation is working over here. So print ID, name, salary, department ID, department. Just see this query very, very carefully. Select employee.id, comma, employee.name, comma, employee.salary, comma, department.department ID, comma, department.department_name. From departments, join employee on departments.department_ID equal employee.department_ID. So this is the way that we have to just perform this. Now when we run these segments, we will have ID, we have name, salary, department ID, and department. So as we have seen that we have from that given table, we have ID from that employee table, and we have ID from the department, and along with this department name. So this is the way that we just join two or more tables using this query. Now execute, that's simply the concept we have to perform. Now here what we have done, we have just performing right join over here. So right join, we are taking an employee Alex, having these fields, but doesn't have the department ID. And if it doesn't have the department ID, then department name and ID will be null. So it will be none, like that we have in this design. So we have to execute the query on MySQL along with this query that we are going to put. So how to run query on that PHP Myadmin? I'm just sharing one screen and then tell you. Here we have this one. Now see, we have to just run query on PHP Myadmin. So here is a database test, and in test we may just tap this SQL, and this that window is going to be open. You type query and just tap this go. So this is one way. If you perform to run that query on suppose any given table, so firstly you have to click on that table name, and then you go to this SQL tab, click on this and just type your query over here and finally go. So this is that way you just run query on PHP Myadmin. So this is very simple way. You have to just perform that sort of thing over there. Now come back to this slide. See, when we perform that, so what happened? This Alex is going to be inserted into record because Alex doesn't have that department ID and department name. So both of these values are null, and it performs right join operation. So this is the way that we use the concept. So there is a query that we have run on that given table employee SQL. Insert into employee name, ID, salary, branch name. Name is given, ID is given, salary is given, branch name is given, but department ID and department name is not given. So this employee is not the part of the, you can't say that's having any record in department. So department ID and department name, both of those fields were none. Then we have run this. So this is the way, if you see, to print that ID, name, salary, department ID and department name. So this is the result. Now come to the next segment. This is finally left join. So same sort of approach we perform over here. Pass these four parameters through the MySQL.connector.connect to create connection object and to create cursor object, and finally joining the two tables on department ID. So we execute this and finally print the result. So this is that query we have written, that department.department ID equals to employee.department. So on the basis of department's ID, we are just performing left join operation over here and printing at number of rows. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. If you see the result, that we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So row 0, row 1, row 2, row 3, row 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So this is the way that we perform left join. So today in this lecture, we have seen the concept of update set. Then we saw to perform delete from where clause and the significance of that. And then we have seen how to perform join, left join and right join. Till now, in previous videos, we have learned insert operation, then we have seen read operation, and today we have covered join and update. So thank you very much for being with me in this session. If you like these videos, please subscribe my channel and press the bell icon so that you may get notification whenever I upload new video. Your motivation and your suggestions always work for me, and I will try my best to come with new trends and technologies so that it will be beneficial for overall perspective. Good day. Thanks a lot.